Today on my Jeep here, we've got bigger tires, a lift kit, heavier suspension components, and a lot of stuff that makes this a much more capable off-road machine. However, the factory power steering setup just isn't up to the task of turning these wheels at low speeds, such as when you're driving on the trails. So why do all of these upgrades to make this thing so great off-road if your power steering gets left in the dust and you can't steer while you're enjoying the other modifications? So what I've done is purchased a power steering pump tester. You probably don't need this, but for the sake of science and my morbid curiosity, I had to know what the stock pump is putting out pressure flow wise, and this will let me test that and show you exactly what the factory pump is putting out. Then after we do our modifications to the pump, we can see what it's doing afterwards and compare the performance essentially with real life numbers. So let me show you in here in the engine bay what we're going to be hooking up to, what we're going to be modifying, and then we'll get into it. On my 4-liter Jeep, our power steering pump is right here, and this line, conveniently located right on the top, dead square in the center of the pump, is our high pressure output line. So what we're going to do to test the pressure is unscrew this fitting, add the gauge in between our pump and our fitting, and then we'll be able to see what's going on. Alright, so we got about 100 psi there right now. No leaks or anything. Start adding a restriction. We're up to 200. $300. And we're closed off there. We're not even at 400 psi. So we're only hitting about 375 psi, which these pumps should be putting out closer to 800. So this pump is not building pressure like it should, which tells us we've got issues. So let's pull this apart. I'll show you the piece we need to remove, and conveniently we're already halfway there. So let me get this stuff all removed. And then we need to use a thin walled socket. This is somewhere around a 1 inch. I've got a 23 millimeter here that fits on there and fits pretty good. So it's a tight squeeze between the pulley and the reservoir. So you'll have to find a socket that'll fit a thin wall 1 inch or a thin 23 like I've got here. Should work pretty good. And we're just going to crack that thing loose. Now there is a spring behind this, so be careful as you remove it that your power steering pump parts don't go flying all over your yard. Just want you to be aware. Now we're going to pull this piece out right here. Set that to the side. Down in here, there's some more pieces, and what we're going to do is take a magnet and snag them out of there. Okay, there's our pieces. Let's take all this in and take it apart on the bench, and I'll show you what we're going to do to this stuff to make it give us a little bit better power steering. This is how our stack up should be. Now, immediately after pulling this apart, I noticed the problem of why my pump is only putting out 300 psi, and I'm going to show you what that is, but we're also going to continue with the other modifications as well. So this piece is fine as far as our problem. The spring is also fine, but this, our piston, has a glaring problem here. So this piston has a little spring and check ball and stuff inside of it. Typically between here and here there's a shim that sets this to about 800 psi, and this is supposed to be tight. That is meant to be snug all the way up against that. And this, as you saw, was backed way out, which is what was dropping our pressure down to that 300 psi. Now, just for the sake of completeness, I am going to show you what's inside of here. So we're going to pop this thing apart and try not to lose any of the parts of my power steering. We have our cap, where there would be a shim between the cap and the rest. There's a ball bearing, a little limiting piston, so that changes how far this whole assembly can travel. Spring, and then the piston assembly here. So for our intents and purposes, what we would do typically if we want to up the pressure is remove the shim. Or if the shim is not in there, we could take a little bit off of this limiting stud, or there's a few other things. I'm going to try and show you another pump that doesn't have a failure here like this, but essentially at this point we can put this all back together because our issue was that my pump didn't necessarily need to be upgraded, it just needed to be assembled correctly. So this needs to be tightened all the way down and ensured that it stays tight. So we're going to have to clamp this on one of the parts that is not precision machined to seal. So down in here or down in here, and then give that a little extra oomph to keep it tight. We are going to do a little modification to this in order to help our idle flow. So, whoops, let me back this off a little bit. And now the going thought is that you drill through, straight through the center of this with approximately a 5/32 drill bit. I'm going to go a size smaller than that and do a 9/64 just because I don't know how this is going to respond. Always small steps if you're doing modifications. So that just slightly opens that up so that we'll get a bit better flow at idle. Now we also need to cut down around this hole a little bit and open this up right here so that fluid can get through there. So what I'm going to do is take a cutoff wheel here. Alright, so I've converted that hole into a little tiny slot, and now we're going to clean this up really good because we don't want metal shavings going through our power steering gearbox, and then we can reassemble this all. Spring drops down in, piston drops down in, then our modified top piece pushes against that spring, and then tighten it in with that socket. Similar amount of pressure right now, maybe a hair above 100, but start putting a little bit of load on it. 200, 250, 400, 500, 600, 800, 1,000, 1,200, and we're starting to cavitate. You can hear it crackling, that's cavitating. The fluid is basically boiling inside the pump, so 1,200 psi is plenty. Probably, if anything, that's a little high, and we should have a shim in there, but for my purposes today, we're going to put this back together, plug this back into there, and let me shut the engine down. That's a great end result there, basically. We've got lots more pressure, so it's going to be way easier to steer this thing. Now, one thing that I will note already, we're going to hook this back up and just run it as is for right now, but should you do a modification like this where you're going to be getting above stock pressure, above stock flow, you really should think about adding a power steering cooler, because that hose is already getting kind of warm just in that short time. So I am plumbed. I have a power steering cooler, but I'm not going to worry about that in this video. We'll talk about power steering coolers in another video. This is how to get your pressure right. So now our pressure is good. Let's hook this thing back up. That's all there is to it. Now obviously with my pump we had a problem internally there with that little regulator thing that was making us not get our pressure that we should be, but now we should be getting the pressure that we're supposed to and better flow at idle. So we may revisit this in the future if I need to lower that pressure so that the pump doesn't cavitate, or if I end up blowing this pump up a month down the road, we'll revisit that and yeah, let you know how that turned out. But that's all for today. Thanks for watching.